In a time of oppression and slavery, a story of liberation and faith emerged from the sands of Egypt. This is the epic journey of the Exodus, an event that shaped the history and faith of millions of people around the world. Let's delve into this powerful narrative and discover how an enslaved people found freedom under the leadership of an extraordinary man, Moses. More than 3,000 years ago, the Israelites lived as slaves in Egypt. Fearing the growth of his nation, the Pharaoh imposed forced labor and ordered the death of all male babies. It was in this desperate scenario that a special child was born. Image of a baby in a basket on the Nile River. Moses, the son of a Levite, was placed in a basket and set adrift on the Nile River to escape certain death. By an act of divine mercy, he was found by the daughter of Pharaoh, who adopted him and raised him as her own son. Moses grew up in the palace, but his heart was always with his people. One day, upon seeing an Egyptian mistreating an Israelite, Moses intervened and killed the attacker. Fearing Pharaoh's wrath, he fled to the desert, where he became a shepherd and married the daughter of Jethro, a priest of Midian. It was in the desert that Moses had a life-changing encounter. He saw a burning bush that was not consumed and heard the voice of God, who called him to free the Israelites from slavery. Moses returned to Egypt with his brother Aaron and confronted Pharaoh, demanding the release of the Israelites. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened and he refused to release the people. God then sent 10 devastating plagues to convince Pharaoh. The plagues struck Egypt with overwhelming force. The Nile River turned to blood, frogs invaded homes, lice and flies infested the land, livestock died, boils appeared on people's skin, hail destroyed crops, locusts devoured what was left, darkness covered the land, and finally the death of the firstborn Egyptians. To protect the Israelites from the final plague, God instructed Moses to order each family to sacrifice a lamb and mark their doors with the animal's blood. The angel of death would pass over the marked houses, sparing the firstborn Israelites. After the death of his son, Pharaoh finally relented and allowed the Israelites to leave. They left Egypt carrying their possessions and the spoils of the Egyptians, beginning a journey toward the promised land. But freedom did not come without challenges. Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army to pursue the Israelites. Trapped on the shores of the Red Sea, Moses raised his staff, and the waters parted, allowing the people to cross to safety. When the Egyptians tried to follow, the waters closed in on them, drowning the entire army. In the desert, the Israelites faced hunger and thirst, but God provided manna from heaven and water from the rock to sustain them. They also received the law at Mount Sinai, including the 10 Commandments, which became the foundation of the Jewish faith. For 40 years, the Israelites wandered in the desert, learning to trust God and follow His laws. They built the tabernacle, a sacred place to worship God, and carried the Ark of the Covenant, which contained the tablets of the law. Finally, under the leadership of Joshua, the Israelites entered the Promised Land, a place of abundance and hope. The journey of the Exodus had come to an end, but the story of faith and deliverance has continued to inspire generations. The Exodus from Egypt is more than a story of physical deliverance. It is a testament to the power of God and the unwavering faith of a people. May this story inspire us to trust God, even in the most difficult times, and to seek true freedom in His presence.